very good morning to all our viewers out there, and we are back on your screen once again on our community desk, which always comes on Mondays and Tuesdays. Today, the 19th of April 2022, I'm your host, Alex Chimba, and joining back on set by my co-host, Zipporah Mshara. Before I just do my introduction, let me just take a time to greet her. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Alex. How are you?
It's been a while.
Yeah, I enjoyed the show.
Oh, you did?
In my absence, yes.
Okay,
definitely.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
we have got a number of interesting topics. So
Yeah.
we're going to be talking about the participation of women in mining, as well as the state of health facilities in Zambia.
Yeah.
And in terms of mining, of course, we've had these concerns where even international bodies have said Zambia has got many minerals, but then it does not trickle down to the population.
Yeah, to the
For
local
example,
people.
the women and the children are the poorest of the population. So really, I'm sure the Association of Zambian Women in Mining will actually help us to dig deeper into that topic.
Indeed. And talking of the state of health facilities, Zipporah, I don't know if you've been monitoring the social media and also in the mainstream. We had the case from Material Level 1 Hospital, which was visited by Honorable MP for Material, that is Mr. Mausampa. And he did a check on the hospital. Apparently he did some videos as well. So the videos have been circulating, and you can like really the look of
The state.
yeah, of these hospitals. And you know, it's not just that hospital. So today we dig deeper into just discussing this issue so that going forward some things may come to change. So we're having in this conversation with Dr. Sampa. Brian Sampa is the resident Doctors Association of Zambia president. I was just coming to unpack this issue for us. And like you earlier alluded, we'll be also having Madam Grace Efrati, who is actually the president for Association of Women in Mining in Zambia. And she's actually passionate about, advocating for women participation in the mining industry, which is highly dominated by the men folk. So that's the direction we are having. But before we just get deeper into this conversation, let's just have a stretch. I can see my colleague here, she's quite sleepy, as well as me, honestly speaking. But after this morning boost, I'm sure we're gonna keep fit and be more active. Stay tuned. Let's do this.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Boost. I'm sure you've been following our programs and not just watching but also trying to exercise. So welcome, and today we're going to be working on the abs. All right, let's go. Warm up. Let's go. Same jumping jacks. Instead of going all the way up, this time here we go. That's your warm-up today. Go. All right. So that's a 1 minute warm up. Let's do some abs workout now. Okay. As you can see, I came with a bottle of water. We're going to do some Russian twist. There you go. Get a bottle, put it down there. If you have a dumbbell, good for you. I'm going to sit here, working on the abs. Lean back a bit. There you go. 1. 7. 10. Okay. Go to the second one. We're going to come back to this one. Here we go. Lie down. That was 10. I'm going to do another 10. Let's go. That's 10. Bring back the bottle. Let's go 10. Eight and 9, 10. Go down. Let's go 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's the set which is 40. If you want after that, you can take a break. Let's do another one now. Still on the abs. Okay. I'm gonna be now sliding on the sides. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. 15-second break. Then you go back to the workout again. Another 10. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many? 8, 9, 10 for those that are watching on Facebook. So that's 20. Here we go now. Elbow to knee crunches. And then we start doing it. Okay. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Change. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So you've done your abs workout for today. And we do that again. And it's going to work out fantastic for you. Let's cool down. I only have seconds to my 5 minutes now. And very soon I'll be signing out. So that's how you do your abs workout. We did 3, if you noticed. So let's go march and start cooling down. March, march, march. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I've enjoyed my session with you. Looking forward to train with you again. Let's go.
Welcome back, and I hope you were following through that quite an interesting exercise. As for us in the studios, including our floor manager and also everybody in here, they were up to speed following that. How did you, how was your experience?
It has really woken us up a bit, only that I still have a fever today, this morning.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but it has kind of woken me up. Quite interesting. We need to exercise regardless, yes.
Yeah. So Zipporah, yesterday we had quite an interesting conversation with Dr. Valika. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she was just updating on the issue of cholera. Prior to that, she was also having a conversation on mental health. Mm-hmm. But talking of cholera, it has really stricken us back since the year 2018. Mm-hmm. And you might be aware that we've been recording quite a number of cases now. And some are not really active, some have been discharged from hospital, but then the fact still remains that this thing is back, the pandemic is back. And considering our environment now, I think we need more of information. Yeah, hence today, Dr. Maenga Kaluba, she's on it just to discuss what is cholera and also how much impact does it cause on human body. So basically that's our conversation today, and we hope people out there can actually get some insights from this conversation. So let's have the doc join us in the studios to just give that update on what we're calling the health segment. Stephanie.
Hello, good morning everybody. My name is Dr. Manga Nalube. I'm a medical doctor and I'm with the Medical Women's Association of Zambia. Over the next few days, I'll be discussing a topic with you, and this topic will be cholera. We've heard so much talk about cholera on the news of late. It being the rainy season, mostly in Zambia during the rainy season, we hear about cholera a lot. So I want us to discuss a little about the topic and have a better understanding of this disease. So what is cholera? So this is a disease that's caused by a bacteria or germ that, as the medical practitioners call, Vibrio cholerae. So it's caused by this germ. And the main symptoms, as we know, are vomiting, diarrhea, and when there's too much vomiting and diarrhea, it leads to dehydration. And this dehydration can cause death, and that's why we hear mostly of cases of, many cases of death with cholera. And so how does it spread? So this Vibrio cholerae is easily spread in high density areas. And high density areas are places that are mostly highly populated. I'll give examples of compounds, especially where people are living together, a lot of people in one area. And so it's mostly spread in these places, but it can also be spread in the low density areas where, so mostly it's due to lack of hygiene and sanitation. And it mostly peaks, as I've said, in the rainy season. And what's the reason? We know that in the rainy season, this is when most places, especially high density areas, as I mentioned, get flooded. And when places are flooded, people tend to use this water for their day-to-day activities. So people would draw water from there to wash, to cook. And so they are handling dirty water, handling water that's contaminated with this cholera. And so it gets easier to catch cholera in the rainy season. People are using this dirty water to cook. And then the places that get flooded, mostly latrines, sewages, especially in high density areas, as I mentioned, even in the low density areas. And so it's easily spread in the rainy season. That's why we hear more about it in the rainy season. And then it spreads through the mouth. And so when we eat, when we eat contaminated food, when we drink water that contains this Vibrio cholerae, we contract cholera. And one other way in which people contract the disease is through direct contact. And by direct contact, I mean when someone is taking care of maybe someone who has cholera in the house. So they're cleaning up the vomit and they're cleaning up the diarrhea that this person is producing, and then they come in contact with the germ and they get cholera. So that's the direct contact. Therefore, good personal and public hygiene and sanitation are a very good preventative measure, but we'll talk about prevention in tomorrow's topic. So now we're going to talk about how this toxin causes the actual diarrhea and vomiting in our body. What happens to the body when this toxin goes into the body? So when we ingest or when we feed and eat anything that is contaminated with this bacteria or germ, it goes into the intestines, and in the intestines it produces a certain type of poison. And this poison in the intestines causes removal of extreme or large amounts of water from the intestines. And this is what causes the large amounts of diarrhea and vomiting. But then it's not just fluids that are lost. We also lose something called electrolytes. And if I was to explain what electrolytes are, these are elements in the body that help with the proper functioning of the body. So you could imagine that if these are lost in high amounts, the body begins to not function well. And that's why we'll see the signs and symptoms that come with cholera, based on the loss of these fluids and electrolytes that we've talked about. And so examples and ways in which that people can contract this disease is through drinking unchlorinated or unboiled water, and also eating fruits and vegetables that are not washed properly, buying foods from the streets and we don't know how they were prepared or how they were washed or cleaned before preparing them, and also improper or unsanitary use of toilets and latrines. Thank you so much. We're going to end here. My name is Dr. Manga Nalube, and keep watching Camnet.
There you have it. So Dr. Mainga Nalube is a medical she's a medical doctor and from Medical Women Association of Zambia, who was actually just giving an update on the cholera and defining it and the impact it has on our bodies. So quite important information, isn't it, Sephora?
Yes, and the other surprising thing, Alex, which has surprised most people, is that this cholera seems to have come at the end of the rain season.
Even the minister himself was shocked.
At the end, because normally you have it maybe December, January, February, and all, but then this time it's at the end. This is now April. So we're recording. But then I'm sure you've noticed, like most of our communities have got flooded drainages with dirt. If you just mention of Mutendere here, near that place called the first bus stop, you actually find piles and piles of garbage, which people have tried to remove from the drainages, but then they've also just been left by the side, meaning anytime they can go back in there. So really, it's about sanitation on our own. And last time when I was talking to the councillor in Mutendere, that's Mr. Ponfes Chiweka, Mutendere was the 34 councillor, he was saying they'll soon start a program where they'll be checking each household to check for receipts. If they actually pay for garbage disposal, then those without receipts will be charged. Because they're saying that the same people end up flooding these drainages with their dirt and all that. So this is what is causing cholera actually. And if you look at the type of dirt that is in the drainages, you find also it's like all these baby diapers and all those things are just mixed in there. Yeah,
and also in addition to that, I think we've had a number of issues to do with the erratic supply of water in these communities, especially in Mutendere, Helen County, just under Mnali constituency. We've had a lot of complaints, residents from that side. And I'm sure it has also contributed to this kind of a breakout. I feel water has a huge role to play in also ensuring that there is no breakout of waterborne diseases such as cholera. So if anything, we should ensure that access to water is actually given to all, even those in such communities which are highly densely populated. So there you have it. But if anything, we should keep ourselves safe, wash our hands, and just these basic, hygiene practices, so that you can just, do not be affected by this pandemic. So thank you so much, Doc, for that update. We appreciate. And then just to go forward with our program, we're just going to look at the money market, which we always remind our viewers out there that it's up for grabs. And if you are a company or an organization, even a person who wants publicity, you can actually sponsor this segment, including the health segment. So right about now, we jump straight into the money market and review how it's looking like. So the United States dollars is buying at 17 kwacha 24 ngwe and selling at 17 kwacha 0.58 ngwe. The Great British Pound is buying at 22 kwacha 0.56 ngwe and selling at 23 kwacha. The euro is buying at 18 kwacha 0.89 ngwe and selling at 19 kwacha 0.26 ngwe. The South African rand is buying at 1 kwacha 0.17 ngwe and selling at 1 kwacha 0.20 ngwe. There you have it for the money market today. And Zipporah, we've seen a bit of stabilization with the kwacha on 17 point something ngwe since last week we updated.
Yes, definitely. But then one other thing is, I don't know if this is having an impact on the prices of commodities and goods. For example, if you check there's that place in Comesa where they sell blankets. Yesterday I passed through and you won't believe the prices I found there. And so I asked them, like, what really is the cause of this? And they were like, it's because of the dollar. But then if you find that the dollar, the kwacha, in comparison to the dollar, is selling at 17 kwacha in some ways, and also buying in comparison.
And it has been like that for the past,
I think 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, so that's quite an improvement from last year where it was somewhere in 21. And but then you find that these blankets are going at over 2,000 kwacha. The same number of blankets, you can't even believe it.
Yes.
Yeah, and then
what sort of blankets are we
the same normal blankets which you know. So I just asked them, what really is the cause of this? And they said it's the dollar.
And you need a blanket at this time, especially as we approach the cold season.
So I was really shocked. It's over 2,000.
But I'm sure you bought.
Not yet. I was just asking the price so that I knew.
Okay, great. Yeah, talking of prices, I'm sure we should see the impact on us if at all we have a stabilized, dollar to kwacha exchange rate.
Dollar to have an impact on their lives.
Yeah, but if there is no difference, then what's
they're just numbers.
Yeah, they're just numbers we read out, and they're not really, you know, having an impact on people out there. So basically, that's for our money market today. And just to talk about some stories we did yesterday in yesterday's bulletin. Yeah, there is this story that was compiled by Miriam Kaimba concerning the person who has cerebral palsy in Choma, and she's quite going through tough time, you know. So the story reads: a teacher in Choma district in the southern province caring for his 2-year-old son with cerebral palsy is seeking financial assistance to enable him to take his son for medical treatment in India. The name of the child is Boyd Siyumbi, aged 2 years. Let's just check this story, and when we come back, we'll be able to dig even deeper into it.
Munene Siyumbi spends every day caring for his 2-year-old son, Boyd, who was few months after being born, diagnosed with cerebral palsy.
When you want to make him sit, he can't. You see the neck is weak, very stiff. The muscles are stiff and the neck is weak. So this is giving us a challenge.
41-year-old Mr. Siyumbi, a teacher by profession, based in Choma District, Southern Province, is desperate, making every effort to make his son as comfortable as he can. But his son's condition keeps getting worse. At 2 years 10 months, it is hard for Boyd to enjoy his childhood due to his cerebral palsy condition, which is defined as a group of disorder that affect movement and muscle tone posture.
He's almost 3 years. He will be 3 in June. Currently, he's 2 years, 10 months. My baby boy was born okay. But a few days after he was born, he suffered from yellow fever. We took him to the hospital. Unfortunately, the case was not managed. The yellow fever, the yellow liquid, made him to become cerebral palsy. In short, it crossed and killed some brain cells, and then it became cerebral palsy. That was in 2019. From that time to date, Boyd is troubled. As you see Boyd here, he cannot sit, he cannot touch anything, he cannot walk, and he can't speak. But the mind is okay.
Efforts to treat him locally have proved futile. His father tells Camnet TV that he is set to be treated in India, but the medical expenses way beyond his capacity, hence seeking financial assistance. More than 200,000 kwacha is required to get Boyd better.
Now, we have found a cure in India, Neurogen Hospital. He has been given an admission letter. You should be there on 15 May next month. But the financial costs needed are too high for a civil servant to bear. Even our borrowing capacity cannot reach that. They need about 212,000, which is too much. So the purpose of coming here is appealing to the population, appealing to NGOs, appealing to well-wishers, to anybody who can come to our assistance so that we meet the costs needed.
Miriam Kaimba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
So there you have it. And so for those who may be in the position to help, I'm sure you can reach out to Camnet TV through the numbers that always scroll on our screens and just offer help to the father. That's really a sad story.
Yeah, and you could see the father, you know, is trying to take care of the baby. And he says his son has a lot of disabilities, such as loss of sight. You know, the child can't see properly.
But does it mean here
and
locally you're not able to?
Yeah, that's a question, because people usually find it easy to go to other places like India, most especially, or South Africa. But really, can't we handle such cases so that it can even be cheaper? Because considering the air tickets, the accommodation that side, while having some treatments there, you need to stay, you know, and those are costs that we need to budget for. So if it was within, I'm sure it can be cheaper.
Yeah, anyway, I'm sure maybe by 2030, that's one place where we're yet to reach.
Indeed.
Yes, and so Alex, you also have a story on bus drivers.
Indeed, yeah. So you once covered these people, it should be on 11th, when they approached our station, that there are some wrangles going on at Lusaka's Kolima Tower station, and alleged cadres, taking some funds and contributions that they are doing at that station. So it has been really a lot of confusion, and the money comes in play, and once money is a factor, people have this unrest approach to it. So we also had them yesterday, and this time they have evidence to say, we have the booklets, and they've collected data to just show how true the story is. So we actually covered them, and this is how the story was. Let's just take a look, and when we come back, we'll rush to discuss it. Stay tuned. On 11th of April 2022, a group of bus drivers from Lusaka's Kolima Tower bus station hinted on the ongoing confusion at the station, calling for the local authority to clean up the cadreism that is slowly surfacing at the station.
Barafikirira kuri bali abalwani abasende endalama, so uli omuntu lesende endalama tabebe efintu ifire kitika pa ground enala bebe efintu ifisuma waye walesende sire endalama.
These wrangles have continued to this day as the drivers Monday press on the demand for removal of some leading personnel, especially those earning their contribution.
Pa officer in charge Kolima Tower
Madamu
Mboloma bativuta please ndiye bagwira ma drivers wamene bagwira tablet kuti EI, and the committee there is not a pure committee, they are illegal committee because they are not elected by the drivers. They came themselves with their power nakuti apa ndise tiriko, they start demanding money from us. Kumenyewa kuchita bwanji aswa munatamba last week banzatu bali 11 banandi chokela ku court
bamdala nachivutikira beka chipani. Please Mr. tapapa please hapo pemuliri paliponse mumvere dandalo yatu ona ni makadazi so apa manje tikakambao pangani yadi space ma drivers pachirimba batigwirisa manje mumaseuls atino ndiso bamene tipanga choma.
They have since called on the Police Inspector General Lemika Joba to come in and bring about sanity.
Mumvera vamene tikamba tikonga directive yaba president yamene banakamba no one should collect the money in the bus station and the market, but vabwerera mu makadazi awa tifuna ma election muri matawa mwatu muja tichinje system weka msuzama kamveramo chongo.
Since his election, President Hakainde Hichilema has put it firmly on record that cadreism will be a thing of the past as far as the UPND administration is concerned. It is therefore a huge concern for these drivers that it is being experienced at the station. Alex Shimba, Camnet News in Lusaka. Quite an interesting story there from Lusaka's Kolima Tower station, where the bus drivers are claiming there's been some, confusion involving some monies and contribution, other people collecting the levy, and so we're surprised that Zipporah, up to now, we're still talking of the story of cadreism when the president has been quite loud in putting it strictly on record that story is of the past. How come we are experiencing such just now?
Yes, and the other thing is, for example, those at Lima Tower, they're talking about money for, is it Chilimba, which they call Chilimba, yes, yeah. Is it more like village banking, something like that? So maybe the solution is just to actually end the same scheme there, because that's what is causing confusion. So they're saying they contribute money for the same, but then only a few people are benefiting. But when they have a problem, none of them are actually benefiting from the same.
And
so
they actually have some people that are getting to be removed from offices, those who are in charge.
Yes, saying, alleging that the UPND cadres, they were not voted through an election. So really, another question that people have been asking, Alex, is it necessary to have a political party office at the market or a bus station? Because that is what encourages cadreism. If they're saying they're getting rid of cadreism, then why have an office for the party in power? Because now the UPND has taken over the offices that were previously used by the UPND, but they insist that they are just drivers. But if you go there, like Kulima Tower, the office is painted red, but they'll say we're just drivers. Previously it was green, now it is red. Then what's the logic? How are we going to end federalism if this continues?
It's indeed quite interesting. Now, for the record, you know, as we get even to another segment of our breakfast show today, you know, Zambia's development trajectory has been highly, you know, shaped by the mining industry, especially in the copper belt, where we have a lot of mining activities happening there. For close to 100 years, the extraction of copper and other minerals have dominated really the economy. But this has come with less concentration on empowering the small-scale miners, especially the women in mining. So we actually have the representation, you know, for just a section of women in our country so that we can have a voice even from them here on our platform. In our studios, we have Madam Grace Efrati, who's actually the president for Association of Zambian Women in Mining. So we get to interact with her up to 8 hours, where we get to have this conversation of just investigating how much participation really has the women being able to participate in the mining industry in Zambia. Madam, you are welcome, and welcome to our breakfast.
Thank you so much, Alex, for inviting me for this wonderful breakfast show.
Indeed.
Though I was expecting to have some eggs, bread, tea, yeah, but it's fine.
It is what we organize, I'm sure, by the end of the show.
Welcome to the show, madam.
Thank you so much.
So maybe just to begin, can you just tell us really what your organization is all about?
Thank you so much. First of all, my name's Grace Njapao Efrati. I'm the current president of Association of Zambian Women in Mining. In short, it is called AZWIM. And just on a good, you know, discussion. Last week I was also elected as the vice chairperson for Southern African Women in Mining. And thank you so much. And the chairperson is from Botswana. So you see, women, we are moving on. Now, coming to what you want to know about Association of Zambian Women in Mining. We are an association which was formed in 1997 on 30th of May. And when we are going into May 30th, it will be 26 years. We have been in existence for a long time. And we are in mining. Our members, even some of us who are in executive, we have got mines. And we have also our members who are doing buying and, you know, and selling. And also we have our members who are doing jewelry, like the one that I'm wearing right now, and my rings here. So women in mining, we are diverse. We are all over. We are in 10 provinces. We have our coordinators in 10 provinces. Some women are in gemstones like amethyst in Mapatizia, Kalomo. Some they are in emeralds in Ulfanyama. Some they are in copper ore in Central and Northwestern Province. Some they are doing manganese in Luapula Province, Mansa. Some they are mining aqua in Lundazi, and also some they are panning gold. So when you ask me, who are you? This is who we are.
Okay, and what do you think of the landscape really? Is it favorable for women in Zambia? I'm talking from the background where I recently did a story from Kawe, and that's a town which was known for mining, but then we find that most of the women there are now just scavenging for lead in these former mines because they say there are no other opportunities how do you think the environment is right now? Are women favored or are men more favored in the industry?
You bear in mind that mining was perceived to be for men. Mm-hmm. It was a main sector. But we came to realize that I think there is no writing on any forehead to say it is only meant to be in mining. Mm-hmm. So we came up to say, no, even as women, we can also be in mining. And this is exactly what we are doing. And when you talk of being favored, recently, through the New Dawn government, we have been given part of Black Mountain 10%. And all along, women actually, they have been mining. They have been, trying hard to have food on the table. But this is the thing that we need to discuss. We need to see how best women can be, uplifted. And we appreciate the government gesture by giving us 10%. But still, it's not enough because there are a lot of women out there and the youth who are doing mining. Mm-hmm. Those are the people that we need to look at. Mm-hmm. And also, we need to see to it that safety is number one. Because in these areas, some of our miners, they have no proper papers. Mm. And they're just doing that because they have to have food on their table. So I believe the government is doing something, or it has to do something to make sure that we safeguard lives of our people, especially women and the youth, because we are the most vulnerable group. Most women, they don't have the resources. But as time goes on, I think we are catching up. Yeah. Talking of cowboy, yes, the women are there. But it's what I'm saying. We need to put in modalities in place. We need to safeguard the women. We need to protect them. Because even the youth, the young women, you find they are also there. So these are the things that we need to look at. And recently, Minister of Mines have lifted the ban of issuance of mining licenses. Mm-hmm. So I just want to appeal that government has to look at women, at least to give us 30 or 40%, to prioritize to give us the mining licenses. Because I went to Cadastre, I just went to see what was happening since it was opened. The most group which is there, most of them are men. And I'm not seeing women. I don't know why we are shunning, and I don't know why we have to continue complaining that the government is not taking care of us. We have to take a step forward ourselves. We need to go there. We need to be in the line. We need to show that women also, we are able to stand in a queue and get what we want. Mm-hmm. But if we say no, we cannot do it, the government has to come and take licenses in our homes, I think it won't be able to, it will be very difficult.
Indeed. Let's talk about equipment for these women, and also maybe just extending it more further to small scale miners. We've seen that there's lack of proper equipment even in their work, and thereby posing a great challenge in their operations. And we've seen more companies, big companies, taking the most on the expense of people and the local people who are there. So what's the way forward, and how is the situation looking like in terms of just acquiring right equipment? But before we jump on that question, we compiled some stories that we would love just some of yours to take a look at, so that you can have more context. And when we get back, we'll just jump right into that issue.
Zambia's development trajectory has been shaped by mining. For close to 100 years, the extraction of copper and other minerals has dominated the economy. But this has come with less concentration on empowering the small-scale miners, especially the women in the industry, who for a long time have suffered the lack of equipment, thereby compromising their productivity. To change this narrative, the Association of Zambia Women in Mining has collaborated by signing the MOU with the African Diaspora Development Institute, ADDI, as to increase productivity and inclusiveness among Zambian women in the industry. During the ceremony, ASWEM President Grace Japao Efrati says the partnership will highly contribute to the growth of the industry in Zambia, especially among the women. Ms. Japao Efrati has assured her counterpart a conducive environment given the current administration's commitment to bring sanity in the mining industry.
That every Zambian woman, every Zambian youth must have food on the table. So you have come at the right time, and we have received you with open hands. I think one time when I had a meeting with Honorable Kawuswe, I mentioned of your name that this is the team that, God willing, they'll be in Zambia, and we are going to sign the MOU. He's working with the women. You have a government which has a vision, and this is the government of President Hakainde Hichilema, the New Dawn government. And through his Minister of Mines, Honorable Kawuswe, he is really there supporting us.
Meanwhile, ADDI President Ambassador Arikana Chiombori has assured support to the Zambian mining industry, noting that it is an opportunity for Africans in the diaspora to have a direct connection with the local people, such as Zambian women in mining.
And finally, to make sure that they are not exploited, that they are remunerated adequately, so they too can move up the economic ladder, so they too can take their children to the schools that they want to take them to, so they too can be guaranteed 3 square meals a day for their children, and no one to ever go to bed hungry. So with that simple understanding, and for me, I've always pushed for the collaborations. The gasp that came from the diaspora was a perfect example of why we don't get involved, not because we don't want to, but because we just don't know. We just don't know. So I truly, truly appreciate Honorable Minister coming to Tennessee, taking the time to address the African diaspora and educating them and informing them about what is really going on the ground.
The two met in Lusaka to discuss a number of pertinent issues that this partnership will focus on henceforth. To ASWEM, this is a stepping stone towards building a strong foundation for women participation in the mining industry in the country. Alex Shimba, Camnet News, in Lusaka. Thousands of chrome pickers this morning ran amok for the second time, disrupting operation at the oil-rich Black Mountain in Kitwe as government bans them from operating at the site. This was after the chrome hand pickers, mostly youths, refused to leave the site and started stoning vehicles. In an interview, Copperbelt Police Commanding Officer Tresford Kasele has confirmed the incidents.
They were supposed to be picking from the selected sites, 4 selected sites which were put for them, and chrome and other materials were being stockpiled in those sites. However, the community members refused to go to that end and opted to demonstrate. 5 have been arrested for participating in riotous behavior, and they are detained at Kitwe Central Police.
Federation for Small-Scale Miners Association of Zambia has condemned the act by community members, saying they should be grateful for what government has provided.
The system that the government created, it is working and it must work. The youth should be grateful that they have been given a portion, a site where to work from. I don't see any reason why they should begin to rioting. And you know, practicing rioting is something which is unwelcome in our nation, because we'd like to experience peace.
Meanwhile, Mines Minister Paul Kabuswe says government is on top of things to ensure safety for the community, and those causing confusion will be brought to book.
Some of the issues that are happening incited by people who want the Black Mountain to operate the way it used to operate, where there are few people getting the lion's share and crumbs coming to the majority. we want to change that narrative, and those that have been injured by that are the ones now who wants to fund violence and also confusion. So what we are saying as government is, number one, we are in charge, we are in control, we are not backing down. As I'm talking to you right now, I'm headed to the Copper Belt to go and quickly have a hands-on. I just wanted to attend the funeral today so that I quickly rush to the Copper Belt. And
Government is on record assuring that it is providing a solution concerning an operation at the Black Mountain. One would ask, could this be the solution? Alex Shimba, Camnet News in Kitwe.
There you have it, quite interesting stories where we just investigate how much impact the mining industry has caused on the small-scale miners, especially the women, and their lack of equipment, thereby affecting their productivity. And Madam Efrati here in our studios, maybe just to give, to shed more light on that aspect of equipment, really.
Yes, Alex, it has been a challenge for a long, long time. Women have been, mining using a pick and a shovel. And in mining, you cannot use a pick and shovel. So it has been very, very difficult for a long, long time. That's why we are focusing on how best we can partner with government and also with other stakeholders, those who feel that they can help women to sustain themselves. Because seriously, pick and shovel, you cannot mine, you cannot do anything. So, but they cannot just sit. You can see the women, they are, crushing stones using their bare hands. And they don't have even the protective clothes like gloves, a helmet, in case a stone flies and hits her to her head. So these are some of the challenges that women have been facing. We have been, appealing to other stakeholders, internationally and locally, and we have been assured that they are going to assist us in terms of equipment, machinery like excavator, jackhammers, and also dump trucks, and also a lowbed, because you cannot, take the excavator without using a lowbed. So the challenge is real, the challenge is there, and we need just to have, to put our heads together for women to be assisted. A woman in Mungi Road, a woman in Kalingalinga, a woman in Lundazi, a woman in Northwestern Chavuma, Zambezi, Mwinilunga, a woman in Southern Province, a woman in Wapula and Northern Province, a woman in Central Province and Copper Belt needs to be assisted, need to be helped in terms of machinery. Association of Zambian Women in Mining is an NGO, and it's not a profitable organization. We only get some little monies from the membership. You cannot sustain yourself with membership. So we need some people out there, the companies that can come on board to say, women, where are you? Can we come in and help you? We are not looking for money. We are looking for equipment. Yes, money is needed to buy fuel, but we need equipment. We need an excavator. We have women who are mining in Mapatiza, they are mining amethyst. For a long time, they do hire these excavators, and it is costly, and there's nothing that they are doing much, but they have the capacity to mine. We have women in Ilufanyama who are mining emeralds, but they don't have the capacity. So these are the things that we are appealing to the well-wishers to look at us as partners. We are able to do the work. We are able to sustain ourselves. But we can only sustain ourselves when we are assisted, because we don't have the finances to buy the excavators. That's why the New Dawn government saw it fit to say these people are non-profitable organization. How can we help them so that they can look at the woman who is crushing stones? And we thank the New Dawn government through President Hakainde Hichilema for knowing that women, or for saying that women has to be assisted, and the youth. So as you see the pictures there, it's really sad story. They are seated there just to crush using bare hands with a hammer for them to get something at the end of the day to go and feed their families. So these are the issues that we are trying to see how best we can tackle that with through the government and those who feel can help the women in mining. Mining is not only mining copper, mining gold, mining emeralds, mining amethyst. Even those who are mining sand, they are miners. Even those who are doing quarry, they are miners. Even those like in Western Province who mold, you know, we call it tunongo, those, you know, made by clay pots. That is also mining. How can we help them to sustain themselves? Okay, so it is true we don't have the right equipment for us to be seen that we know we are competing with other people internationally.
Talking of competing, do we have the capacity, given an opportunity, to be given maybe portions of these mines?
Yes, we have the capacity. You know, we work with men. Though it's a women-run organization, we work with men, and men supports us. We have the capacity. The capacity I'm talking about is we collaborate with other people who have the machinery. We don't have the machinery as Association of Zambian Women in Mining, but we talk to people like at Mountain. We have a company that we've made an agreement with, who are doing, you know, transporting what is being mined there. So the capacity is there. The capacity doesn't mean you have to have the machinery yourself. Yes, we can have the machinery ourselves, but women, they don't mind. We use our counterparts who are men to help us do the work. But in the forefront, women has to be there. Women, they even, you know, wear overalls and work suits. We wear helmets. We wear also gumboots for us when we want to be in the mining area. And you know, being supported, definitely we are going to do the right thing. Like our friends in Ghana, our friends in Nigeria, you know, they are doing the wonderful job. Why? I think they are being supported by their government and also by the well-wishers. So here now in Zambia, the government is supporting us, and we really appreciate that. But we are appealing also to the other partners to come on board and assist women. You know, we have a challenge. They say, there is this saying, a woman cannot be at the mining area. Then the minerals would disappear. How? How would they disappear?
I actually experienced that when I went to Kawe, like I was telling you, when I went to that lead mine, I was actually refused to go. I had to interview some people, but they said they will come down. They said you're not allowed to come up here. If you come up here, then business will be bad for us, really.
No, that's not true.
I've never heard of that.
No, that is not true.
It's there.
They said a woman cannot step, then the minerals will disappear. In Fanyama, women are mining. Mrs. Lewis and another lady, Mrs. Mukwala, they are always at the mine. We have in Lundazi, Maureen and the group. They are there, actually mining. We have women in Bapatizia. They are mining. So when you say the minerals would disappear, you know, those are just, you know, beliefs.
Maybe to discourage women.
To discourage women not to mine. It is true. But we have broken that barrier. We have said no to that.
Have the minerals disappeared?
No, they have not disappeared. And, you know, long time ago, even eating bream, the fish, and some eggs, the elders will say don't eat the eggs and don't eat the bream. Why? Because eggs are nice And the bream is also sweet, nice when cooked well. So, you know, these are beliefs to say, no, a woman should not be there, to discourage us. But we have said, you know, women, you have to go out there, be it in mining sand, be it in crushing, be it in actual mining. Women has to be there, because, you know, I have not seen any mineral disappearing. I went to my small holding. I'm always there with my people, and I don't think the minerals have disappeared, but we are doing the exploration, and eventually we'll get the vein and we'll get somewhere there. So this issue of saying women should not be at the mining area, that is really, really sad, and it is bad. And I'm encouraging all women out there, let's own mines. Let's go out there. Let's start panning. Let's start mining. We are there to assist you because the government has helped us. The little that will come from Black Mountain, we are going around the country. We are forming cooperatives. We have existing cooperatives. Now we are adding more cooperatives. Last week we were in Mumba, and it was really, really good. We visited the DC's office, and the women came. We sat with them. We explained to them, those who cannot mine, let them go into agriculture. Because, you know, if you don't know how to mine, or you don't want to be there, you think it's hard, please go into agriculture.
I'm sure you've even tackled on what I was actually wanted to ask, the issue of sensitizing other women, because mining sounds a bit of complicated industry. You know, maybe I can ask the Pora here, my friend, to say, can you do mining? She'll feel maybe it's up to those people who are rich, those people who have a lot of money. Really, it sounds like a huge thing. You go in a particular mine and you just start, you know, picking up stones. And what's involved, and what kind of sensitization are you doing?
Maybe really, where can one get some type of training in
Zambia? We have a training center in Ndola, Ndola Laboratory. It is there that they train women, they train the youth how to cut the stone, how to polish the stone, how to know and identify the stone. So we are trying to see how best we can take some of our women to learn how to cut, to learn how to identify the stone, because some people, they don't know the stone. So we are making arrangements so that in due course they can go to Ndola and be trained. If I come back to the women who are like those ones who are crushing stones, I think that is where our heart is. That is where our focus will be, because those are the people that we need to make sure that we sit down with them. What are their needs? We are not going to say we are going to do this. Let them tell us what their needs are. If they want something, modern, we can source for that, because we have been already empowered by New Dawn. In a small way, we can do that. If they say no, we don't want heavy machinery, but please help us with a ball mill, which can, crush the stones so that we sell to those who are buying stones. We are going to look at it and help them, because this is the way that we can penetrate mining sector. And I'm glad that my committee is really there to make sure that we go out there to help women. We have actually partnered with the PACT, and we are sensitizing our women. Right now, we have a team in Nyimba, we have a team in Petauke, we have a team in Lundazi, we have a team in Mapatizia, we have a team in Lufanyama. So those were trained 2 weeks ago, and they are there to sensitize our women and to form some sort of cooperatives. Because let's say we have a $10,000, okay, which is almost 170,000 kwacha. How are we going to distribute it? Are we going to give individuals? No. We need to have these cooperatives, so that as a cooperative, let's say we have got 20 or 15 or 10 women, the 10 families will be able to be assisted. and be able to take their children to school by working together as women. So we are encouraging our women to work together and form cooperatives, be it in mining, be it in agriculture, because Association of Zambian Women in Mining, we are in both mining and agriculture. So those who cannot manage to go into mining, please, I urge you, I encourage them to go into agriculture. So these are some of the things that we have put on the table as Association of Zambian Women in Mining. Then I saw another clip of Black Mountain. Yes, indeed. When we started 4 weeks ago, it was a challenge. But the government had to put their foot down to say, no, we are not going to allow this. Because previously, I think people, they were doing things, not in order. But I think this government is a government of order. And it's true, right now, at Black Mountain, we are now working properly. From 1st April, we are working properly. We sat down with our colleagues, consortium, because we are only 2 companies or organizations which were given the licenses at Black Mountain, ourselves and the consortium. Now, we sat down to say, okay, if we go on with our people, whom we have given 3 hours to get something, but now they are refusing to come out of the Black Mountain, when are we going to start the program? So we discussed, and we had to put this discussion forward to the government. Then they said, okay, what we are going to do, we are going to arrange 4 areas, 4 stations, where we deliver, and they start, picking the what is called chrome and other minerals. So this is what we did, because our young people, they didn't realize that thing, it has licenses for the 2 organizations, and we thought of, no, we cannot be selfish. Why can't we do that? And the Minister of Mines agreed, and the Minister announced to say, okay, this is what we are going to do, and this is what we will do. But some selfish people who want to believe that it is only them, not other people, to run the country, they started, engaging the youth to disrupt our progress. But the government said, no, we are not going to allow that. So it is really a pity that a beggar is a chooser. We have the licenses, consortium and the women in mining. And we thought of, we extended an olive branch through government to say, let's do this so that our youth can benefit. But unfortunately, they became unruly. But I think now things are settling down. And there was an issue of the drivers, just driving without putting tents on the tracks. And
there was inroads in communities.
Yes. Also, we sat down, and the issue was addressed, because we discussed with the transporters to say, no, I think this will be hazardous to our communities. So can we please be, be putting tents on the tracks? And this was done. So, we are working hand in hand, the association, the consortium, and the government, because we cannot do things without government being involved. Indeed. It's not possible. So basically, we are trying.
Even as we conclude, Madam Grace, maybe to conclude on this aspect of value addition, where do we end our process in terms of mining as women, and also small scale? Do we just, crush the stones or pick whatever chromes and just, sell it like that, or we can actually finish it? Maybe I'm seeing some stones on you, as good as that. But then, as Zambians, you've been challenged. Like, we only do raw materials and export them like that, and then they come back and finish products for us to buy again, which actually initially was our main role. So what's your take on the value addition and the importance of just adding some value to these stones that we are mining?
I think it is important to let the nation know that mining is a business, and as it is a business, all of us, we have to put our head in it to say it's a business. Even when you want to join Association of Zambian Women in Mining, you must bear in mind that mining is a business. But we come together as people to share ideas and see the way forward. Coming to your question about the value addition, yes, we need to do it here. We should not allow our raw material go to other countries. Then in return they bring it here, we buy it from them. No, we have the capacity in, you know, like in Ndola. They are able to do these things. These things are being polished in Ndola. And if you can see the way this, I'm wearing amethyst and you know other agates in a chain. So this is done in Zambia. Why can't we do it here so that those people who want to come, let them find that we have the finished material? And my appeal to government is that we should not allow our raw material to go out. Let's have it here. Help us as the Association of Zambian Women in Mining to acquire this machinery of, you know, polishing, cutting, and designing. This is what we have to do. The issue of allowing our mineral going outside the country and then it comes back, no, that should not be the issue. Let's create an environment in our country where we can do it ourselves and let those who want to come and buy it from us as Zambians. And also I just want to make an appeal to the government that even when we are issuing licenses, can the Minister of Mines consider to give women a priority to get some licenses so that they are able also to do one or two things. It's a process. We are all learning. There's no master in mining because we are not born miners, but we are all trying. So the best way to do is, one, we need more women and the youth to get these licenses. And also my other appeal goes to my Zambian sisters and brothers. When you get the license, please don't be a face to a foreigner. Put your foot down to say, this is my license, this is my area. If you want to partner with me, you are giving, we do it 70 to 30%. A Zambian must have more shares than the person who is coming in. Now, what we have been seeing, a Zambian is given 20%. Then the foreigner who comes gets 70%, who has no land, but he says he has got money. No. We have the land, we have the minerals, we have the license, we must have the golden share. We should not just give it away because we don't have money. This is when the government has to come in strongly to say, without a Zambian being part of that company, I think we are not going to allow it. And you know the issue of getting 10 licenses, 20 licenses, one person for what? There are so many people who want these licenses. So we should not also be selfish. And in most cases, as Zambians, we are put as a face to foreigners. No, let's stop that. Let's stop
speaking on behalf of them when they do some...
No, let's stop that. Let's be in forefront as Zambians. Let our friends who want to partner with us be behind. I think this is my appeal, that we should not let go. Just for example, our minerals, we have sodalite now in Luapula province. The Chinese, Indians, Lebanese, they are all now in Luapula province, and they are getting that sodalite. But why can't we say we don't know what to do? Government, can you, or you hip, then you call the Minister of Mines. We have this. Can you help us to find a buyer? But still, I'm emphasizing, Zambian must be in front. Let our partners be behind us, because we are losing a lot as a country. We are losing a lot. And even the issue of gold, sodalite today, emeralds, aqua, amethyst, name them, the copper ore. If you go to Mumba today, Our colleagues, Chinese, they have made even homes there. I don't know why. And our Zambians are not there. The women are not there. The youth are not there. But we see this group of people. I don't know. I think we need to be serious of what we are doing.
Yeah,
and as women, yes, and we, as women, we still talk on behalf of the women. We work in hand with the youth, and I believe the government will be listening to what we are discussing. We need to put things right. Previously, things were not right. It was chipate pante. But I think let's put things right. Support us as women. Whatever we are mining, sand, crushing, breaking, whatever, support us. As I said earlier, we are so grateful to the New Dawn government that has given us that opportunity of having that 10% at Black Mountain. And we are going to use it, not to benefit us, but to benefit a woman in the rural area who is crushing, who doesn't even know how a hammer is. And if they'll ask for us a jackhammer to break the stones, we are going to do that. Because we have been empowered, and we need also to empower others. We are not going to empower ourselves, but those who will be in cooperatives, those who are mining, those are the people that we are going to help. But if you are an individual, then you come to the office to say, I need to be empowered, it will not be possible. Because there are so many women out there. Actually, about 60% we are women. How are we going to manage to give individuals? But when there are cooperatives, and we list, and we say exactly what we are doing, we are there to assist.
Madam Grace Chapal is actually the President for Association of Zambian Women in Mining, who actually joined us to discuss the quite an interesting topic of participation of women in the mining industry. Thank you so much for making your way to our studios. I'm sure we'll be having some more conversations like this for the people out there to actually learn one or two things.
I'm actually leaving you, Alex. I'm going into mining. You made in mining. I'm convinced now. I can say someone has understood everything.
Actually, please come through to our office. It is only 520 your membership. And if you are a cooperative, it's 1,000 kwacha for a year, and you'll be affiliated to us.
You're given a mine right there and there.
Where?
Wherever you choose. You're saying more like recruitment and health workers. You're posted somewhere.
No. What it is if you have the area and you suspect that this area has got some minerals, then you find a geologist to go and help you get the coordinates. Once you have the coordinates and they will look at it, if there is nobody on that area, then you apply for the license. So for those who have challenges of where to go, what to do, that's why we are there to assist them, to help them how to go about it. So Association of Zambian Women is not giving a mine, but we are helping to do the paperwork if at all you don't know how to go about it.
And I'm sure there are women out there who are just actually listening to this conversation, and they'll be interested in just having a share in the mining industry. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just as we go to another segment where we discuss the state of health facilities in Zambia, we'll just go for a short break, and when we come back, just jump right there in. Stay tuned.
Camnet TV is becoming big and better. You can now watch Camnet TV wherever you are around the world, simply by downloading the Camnet TV app. With Camnet TV app, you only use less bundles. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, we've been on some quite interesting topics here on the Breakfast Show, and we've been discussing the women participation in the mining industry with Madam Jepao Gracie Efrati, who's the president for Association of Women in Mining in Zambia. Right about now, we go to another segment where we also tackle another issue that is quite trending. A recent video was taken by Material Member of Parliament, Mr. Mao Sampa, portraying dirty toilets that went viral on social media. And to that effect, the Health Minister Sylvia Masewo yesterday actually held a press briefing where she charged that underperforming health workers risks being instantly dismissed, as she bemoaned the poor sanitation at Material Level 1 Hospital. We'll just take a look at the story to see what we're talking about.
Barely 2 days after these videos and pictures of dirty toilets at Material Level 1 Hospital went viral, following a prompt visit by the constituency area Member of Parliament Mao Sampa, the Minister of Health has taken action and transferred the entire management. Angered with what transpired, the ministry has taken the move to change the entire management at Material Level 1 Hospital, measures the Minister of Health says will help improve the situation.
Has doubled your allocations, is releasing money timely, so there's no excuse apart from incompetence, mismanagement, people not taking work seriously. That's what this is all about. So let us start cracking the whip for those of you that are in charge at provincial level, at district level, because remember that if something is wrong in your province, the buck stops with you. If something is wrong in the ministry, the buck stops with me. So before it comes to me, I'll start with you, so you also do your part.
Speaking during the COVID-19 and cholera update in Lusaka Monday afternoon, the minister says it is embarrassing and lack of management that a health facility can be found in such a state. Ms. Masewo says it was not in dispute that Mr. Samba visited the hospital without authority, however laments that allowing dirtiness in hospitals, yet people are getting paid, is unjustifiable. She reiterated that rather than shooting the whistleblower, Mr. Samba, the ministry should concentrate on ensuring that it ups its game.
But issues of hygiene begins with you and ends with yourself. We don't expect the minister to be checking toilets every day in health facilities. And this time you're being transferred, next time there will be no transfer. You'll just lose your jobs. There's too much playing games in most of these health facilities. People are not working. Dr. Mwale, please, talk to your people. You know? You're telling me that Mao Sampa went to Gatero Hospital without authority. Yes, that may be true, but I think that should not even be the point. The point is that we are allowing dirtiness in the facilities, and yet we've got people that are getting paid.
Unkept toilets, poor medical care services continues to be the talk of the day, mostly in government hospitals. Material Level 1 Hospital is just among other few hospitals found with such poor health conditions.
With regard to Material, what happened is regrettable, and we've worked with the teams at central level, provincial level, and district level to ensure that we strengthen the management of the hospital, the local management of the hospital. So we have since transferred out the current medical superintendent, the hospital administrator, and the head of pharmacy.
Miriam Kemba reporting for Camnet TV News.
Wow, quite disturbing pictures there, and we do apologize for not warning you before the clip went on air. Yeah, so Zipporah, how do you make of that really?
That's really, really disturbing, and this paints a negative picture on government hospitals. And I remember there's a time I was in at the hospital, Ndola Central Hospital, and that was in 2015. I was actually admitted at that hospital, And the situation was the same, whereby you want to go to the toilet, you find there's water everywhere, you know what I mean? Like just, you have nowhere to step, you're wading in water. I hope now, anyway, the situation is better, but at that time when I went, it was really like that. The toilet has got water, you don't even know what that water has, and you're just passing there because you have to go to the toilet. It's not dry, the floor is wet actually, there's no water. So really, we're saying it's a hospital, but some people are actually catching diseases at the hospital. They go there without some diseases, they go there for treatment, and then they come back with something else because of the poor sanitation.
Yeah, so the numbers are scrolling on your screens. You can actually have a conversation and also your input to this topic, where we just investigate the state of health facilities in Zambia. You know, we've seen a number of poor health conditions at these hospitals, some which are hidden. But now the video taken by Honorable Minister for Material Constituency, Mr. Mausampa, actually just comes to a point where other places are also experiencing the same. You know, we've been just hearing people have been in these hospitals saying the conditions are bad, but really those are evidences to show how much damage is there in there. So you can call us using the numbers that are scrolling on your screens, and you get to actually interact in that manner. So the minister have actually, you know, changed the entire management. We heard from our briefing at Material Level 1 Hospital. But do you feel transferring someone is actually enough, considering the amount of damage at the facility?
Well, it's government, so I'm sure. Anyway, that was maybe like a first offense or something, so that's more like a warning to them.
Yeah.
And as you've heard saying, next time there will be no warning of the same. And another issue at these public hospitals is again issue of water. Just is it last
Okay, let's just pick a Kozipora. Good morning.
Where you go and check the deafness, what is happening in the clinic or hospital. Not good.
Yes, good morning. Good morning.
Goes there, then comes back with the stinkiness of this cholera that we are hearing. Because of poor hygiene, where we're supposed to experience good hygiene in the hospital. This is recommendable. We hope the Ministry of Health also will take keen interest to transfer such people who are not doing right thing in the hospital. So it's happening. One who is well go to clinic for contract diseases from the clinic where we expect for sanitary. I think this is wrong. I commend the Minister Mausampa for doing that. Thank you so much. This is James Appoint from Camnet and Listener Care.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chins. Well, I think, and then the minister was questioning the authority by the MP to capture those videos. Anyway, ethically, it's not allowed that you should go.
He's the area member of parliament. Even you, Alex, as a journalist, you have to go and check what's happening on the ground. If you're going to wait for someone to tell you, come and check, you're not going to find the truth.
Yeah.
You have to go there at a time. The same way that Jesus will come when people are not expecting. That's how you have to go there when people are not expecting. If you want to
put
find
it rightly. Yeah, you put it rightly. It was a surprise.
Yes, you need to find the truth. You need to, don't tell people that you're going, just go there and then you're going to have a true picture. Not people know that the president is coming, they clean up, they do what, they prepare dances. No, that's not the real picture. Because people are not interested in what is happening on that particular day, but what happens every day on a normal basis.
Indeed.
So he's the whistleblower, he's the area member of parliament, just about what issues are in the constituency. So
yeah. So after that, he actually went on to, I should be the following day to go and clean up with his team. It was quite an interesting, and you know Mr. Mausampa, the way he does things, he's quite passionate about it, and he just goes in the gumboots, the costume, everything prepared, and he was like, we're going to clean the entire hospital. Now, the question is, don't we have the cleaners at that particular hospital, and where were they really at the time you visited the hospital?
That's the other thing which we were talking about last week, if you remember, when people are questioning productivity of people in the civil service, really. And so people have been calling for measures to actually see how productive these people are. You remember they were talking about a laissez-faire attitude where people say Atinva Boma and they have this kind of attitude. So really, with the coming of the Civil Service Commission, we hope that with the new people at Civil Service Commission, we hope that this will be changed so that there's higher productivity being in the civil service.
So what could be your observation even in these health facilities we would like to hear from you using the numbers that are scrolling on your screens. And also on social media, that is Facebook, we are streaming live, where you can drop a text in the comment section and you'll be able to get your views as well. So call us now and let's have an interaction and see the way forward to ensuring that our health facilities in our country are clean, are kept in good shape, and also the bedding. And you saw one of the other issues that was found in those pictures, the lack of beds and beds in these facilities. Some people are put just on the table. Really, it's quite unfortunate as well, considering people would say the years that Zambia is now.
58, it's turning 58 this year.
Do we need to be limping with such things?
So yeah, so they've been concerned saying education, health, and all those other key ministries should be well functioning by now, because we've been independent for a very, very long time. And as I was saying earlier, the other issue is the lack of water in these hospitals. Just about last month, I was in Chongwe, and before that, at Chongwe District Hospital there, maybe you go to the bathroom, you open your tap to wash your hands, there's no water coming out. You go to the area, written staff bathrooms, maybe there'll be water, there's no water to wash your hands. And so really, if there's no water, how are we going to fight diseases such as COVID-19, which actually needs
And now we're talking of cholera as well.
Yes, and now cholera. So the issue of sanitation as well is really important. You have to make sure that there's running water, especially at hospitals. Because at home, people have challenges. Maybe it comes for a few hours, but then at hospitals, these are some of the facilities where power should not be going, water should not be going, it should be there. If we're actually going to achieve good health that we're actually talking about.
Yeah, the reason why the ministry actually employs people is because they want, services to be rendered at those facilities. And it's a disappointment to the side of the ministry where you have the personnel on board and then they're not doing their work. They're not ensuring that the places are clean and ensuring that they are serving the purpose that they were employed for. And then they're just lazing around there. And I'm sure it's a matter of attitude. It's a matter of attitude that a lot of people have complained that we have this disease, so to say, kind of cancer arrangement where we feel we don't need to do much to a certain particular job that we're given. And really it's saddening because it's affecting other people as well. Because if you get lazy on it, particularly as simple as cleaning, other people will not use the toilets and it will remain like that for the rest of the week and maybe a month or even some couple of months. So really it's quite a sad story in our health facilities. And we're asking our people out there just to contribute and make their contribution on this platform to see what could be the best way going forward on this particular topic, really.
Yes, and just talking about the health sector, Alex, we've seen that the health sector has been in the media for the past few weeks. First of all, it was the issue of drugs, and now the issue of sanitation. And the other issue which people don't talk about, Alex, the issue of, or maybe people have been talking about it, but then nothing really has been done, is the issue of the bad attitude of most health workers. I don't know if you've experienced such, where we have seen that some health workers actually do not have a good attitude towards patients, maybe especially those in maternity or something like that. So really there's just need for a total cleanup at the Ministry of Health, a total overhaul, if we're actually going to have our dream health sector. Really. Yeah.
And have you had an experience where you're being shouted by?
Many times, but mostly when I was on the corporate board, maybe there's a time like I was really sick, and you find that the attitude of these health workers is they just treat you like a bundle. They inject you, they go about, they do this, like you're not really human to them, it's just a job, you know what I mean? So really that's some of the things, it's just a job to them. So those are some of the things that we actually have to change in the health sector.
Yeah, to those who are just maybe joining us, we have a story that we're discussing today where the health ministers, Madam Sylvia Masebo, has charged that underperforming health workers is being instantly dismissed as she bemoaned the poor sanitation at Material Level 1 hospital. And this is the story. We're going to play it once more so that people can have an idea of what we're talking about. But beware, we are warning you of the pictures that are quite bad to look at. Just check it out.
Barely 2 days after these videos and pictures of dirty toilets at Matero Level 1 Hospital went viral, following a prompt visit by the constituency area Member of Parliament Maus Sampa, the Minister of Health has taken action and transferred the entire management. Angered with what transpired, the ministry has taken the move to change the entire management at Matero Level 1 Hospital, measures the Minister of Health says will help improve the situation.
Has doubled your allocations, is releasing money timely, so there's no excuse apart from incompetence, mismanagement, people not taking work seriously. That's what this is all about. So let us start cracking the whip for those of you that are in charge at provincial level, at district level, because remember that if something is wrong in your province, the buck stops with you. If something is wrong in the ministry, the buck stops with me. So before it comes to me, I'll start with you, so you also do your part.
Speaking during the COVID-19 and cholera update in Lusaka Monday afternoon, the minister says it is embarrassing and lack of management that a health facility can be found in such a state. Ms. Masewo says it was not in dispute that Mr. Samba visited the hospital without authority, however laments that allowing dirtiness in hospitals, yet people are getting paid, is unjustifiable. She reiterated that rather than shooting the whistleblower, Mr. Samba, the ministry should concentrate on ensuring that it ups its game.
But issues of hygiene begins with you and ends with yourself. We don't expect the minister to be checking toilets every day in health facilities. And this time you're being transferred, next time there will be no transfer. You will just lose your jobs. There's too much playing games in most of these health facilities. People are not working. Dr. Mwale, please, talk to your people. You know? You're telling me that Mausapa went to Batero Hospital without authority. Yes, that may be true, but I think that should not even be the point. The point is that we are allowing dirtiness in the facilities, and yet we've got people that are getting paid.
Unkept toilets, poor medical care services continues to be the talk of the day, mostly in government hospitals. Matero Level 1 Hospital is just among other few hospitals found with such poor health conditions.
With regard to Matero, what happened is regrettable, and we've worked with the teams at central level, provincial level, and district level to ensure that we strengthen the management of the hospital, the local management of the hospital. So we have since transferred out the current medical superintendent, the hospital administrator, and the head of pharmacy.
Miriam Kemba reporting for Camnet TV News.
There you have it, a story we're reviewing this morning on our breakfast show. And we're just asking for a comment even as we're about to close this show. There, the health minister really bemoaned the poor sanitation levels at Matero Level 1. Quite a similar situation to even other health facilities across the country. And we feel this narrative should actually come to an end. And basically it will take you and me to even press on this demand of ensuring that health workers do their needful work and ensure that these health facilities are cleaned up. And not only that, they have a good attitude towards their patients and everything like that. So basically that's a discussion we're having today. You can do a last call as we're about to close the show right about now. Zipporah.
Yes, definitely. And so going forward, Alex, I'm sure with the transfer, I don't know if they've already been transferred or they're going to be transferred this week, but I'm sure that will actually be a wake-up call that most health workers need to do their job in a very professional manner. And I think this gesture should be emulated to other ministries which are seen to be underperforming, so that we have civil servants doing what they're supposed to do actually, so that we have sanity in the country in different areas.
Indeed. And there, just you have it. It has been quite a remarkable breakfast. As we know, we've been discussing quite a number of issues, starting from the stories that we compiled in our last bulletin, where we had this case of a person with the condition of a child, where they're asking for assistance from the general public. And later after, we had a conversation in the mining sector where we're discussing the women participation in mining. And now we're discussing the state of health facilities in our country, Zambia, where we a case where we're having the Matero Level 1 hospital, which was randomly visited by MP for Matero constituency, Mr. Mao Sampa, who actually reviewed some videos that are circulating on social media. Thereafter, the minister had held a briefing yesterday, just touching on that aspect, where she actually warned that anyone who will be found underperforming in the health sector will risk their job. So from me, Alex Shimba, and my co-host, Zipporah, maybe you have your last remarks?
No, I think
especially that you've been away for a long time, people missed you.
They missed me, but I have a fever. Yeah, so, okay, we heard a lot, especially from the women in mining. And really, Alex, that's something that we actually have to start looking into. The issue of empowering women in various areas, including those that are perceived to be male-dominated, such as mining. So that was really insightful. And then we've also seen the issue of the status of some health facilities in Zambia, which actually calls for a total wake-up call, not only at Matero, but in other facilities as well, because we do not know what is happening there. So it has been a very, very interesting breakfast show. So from Alex and I, until next week, Monday, so do join Patrick, Soko, and Sharon Kaimula tomorrow as they take you into politics. Have a productive Tuesday.